Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video right here for you. I wanted to talk about the most beautiful comic book covers on Veve right now, okay? There's going to be more that are going to be coming, and this list will change. It's not a top 10. It's not like a number 1 to number 10 or like my favorite picks. It's just the ones that I think are the most beautiful covers right now on Veve, okay? That's the cover, the comic book art, okay? I think this is really important too because, what is a comic book, right? Like a comic book is a story, a comic book is a legend, a comic book is art, and some of the most beautiful art that we have in this world, in my opinion, is comic book art. Okay, and it's starting to become more and more recognized, right? With the emergence of NFTs and the emergence of digital assets, digital art, okay, is like really on the rise. And the traditional forms of art and painting and all that kind of stuff, and sculpture and everything like that is all amazing and fantastic, and there's a whole world of that. But comic book art is really, really transitioning into NFTs, even with just figures and stuff. And it's really, really taking on a whole new level. So I really wanted to make a video in appreciation of some of the beautiful comic book art that we have on Veve right now. I know a lot of people, and myself included, we're chasing all of the high level collectibles for value and how much they're going to be costing in the future, and going after blue chips and doing this whole kind of stacking up as much as we can, to get as much value as we can. But also there's another way of collecting, right? It doesn't always have to be about how much something's worth in the market. It doesn't have to be always about how much you can flip it for, right? The whole point of comic book collecting, a big point of it anyway, is acquiring something beautiful that you like to look at, okay? So comic books in general, like comic book collectors, right? We love to display our comic books. We love to look at the covers in particular. We love to read them as well, right? But more importantly, the cover art is really important, right? The cover artists, even just a cover artist alone can make a comic book famous, even if the story isn't that great on the inside, right? So these are great comics that I picked right now that I just want to have a look at. I want to show you what I think. Art is subjective. Okay, this is just my opinions about what my favorite covers, comic book covers are in the app right now. And you'll have yours, and that's great. Please comment down below and share what your favorites are. I think that's really important. But let's get into it, okay? We're just going to appreciate some beautiful cover art. And imagine if you have a gallery, okay, of your covers, right? Like on the wall in Veve. That could be a really great collection to have as well. Not just the most valuable comics, okay? But the most beautiful comics too. I mean, think about how amazing that could be. So let's just get into it. The best comic book cover art. Okay, one of them on my list right here. And like I said, this isn't the top 10. This is not ranked in any way. These are just ones I wanted to show you. Astonishing X-Men Ultra Rare, okay, with the beautiful Wolverine cover art. It's absolutely amazing. There's about 1,000 editions of this right now in the market, and you can get it for 488 gems. And if we take a look at the large format, I really want to just look at it. It's such a gorgeous cover. I mean, the art is amazing. I would highly recommend, you go on Google, you look up the comic book artists, check them out, check out the other work they've done. I mean, some of these artists are so phenomenal. Like the craft is just it's unbelievable, right? I mean, I dream that I could draw like this or illustrate like this. I mean, obviously I can't. I don't have the talent. Not many people do, okay? And this is amazing. I mean, this is such a beautiful cover. Look, Wolverine right there. I mean, it transcends the comic book's value, in my opinion. It increases the value, just the beautiful cover art, right? So that's one pick for you. Here's another one right here. Ultimate Fallout number 4, Ultra Rare Edition. Okay, we got 2,350 editions of this. It's low mint. 550 in the market. I've actually put this comic on a list before as really great comics to get undervalued and all that kind of stuff. And he's gone up in value. It's such a great comic. But let's just take a look at the cover right here. Such an amazing cover. I mean, beautiful. I mean, this is one you love to have on your wall, right? For sure. All of these, in my opinion, are like that, right? Let's go to the next one, right? This is a newer comic, of course, Amazing Spider-Man 798. This is the Secret Rare edition with the Red Goblin. I mean, it's such an amazing cover. There's 600 editions. You can pick it up for $7.98 right now in the marketplace. This is January 18th, okay? So these prices change. But look at this beautiful cover right here. I mean, isn't that just awesome? He's so menacing, you know? I mean, look at the flames coming out of his face, the carnage in the background. I mean, it's such an amazing cover, you know? Like, I just love the art. What do you think? Do you love the art? I mean, that's what I want to know, right? Not everything has to be super valuable in the app or super popular. You know, House of X #1, the uncommon version. Look at the beautiful cover right here. We got 5,000 editions, you know, 72 gems. I mean, like, you know, the House of X, they're about to get it on. Anyway, but look at that beautiful cover art. Isn't that like one of the most awesome covers that you've seen in the app? I mean, in my opinion, it is. I mean, look at the detail, right? It's just the form, everything, the simplicity of it. I mean, comic book art is art, right? Let's not forget that. These are artists. And, you know, this is an appreciation, right? And the good thing about this is that you can acquire these, right? I mean, you can have these. They're yours. You can display them. Oh, like, I don't know how many times you scroll by this comic book in the app when you're looking to buy other comic books because, you know, it's Marvel's #1 and, you know, it's pretty cheap. You can get, there's like 48,000 editions of this one. This is, you know, the only 22 gems. It's the common version. But I mean, the cover art is so incredible. The entire, actually, all 4 editions of this cover art is absolutely unbelievable, right? And the cover artist, you should look him up, you know. I don't want to get into the whole thing about cover artists and like naming them and going into like all their backstory. This could be a 2-hour long video, right? But you check out the cover art of this particular artist, you know, like the art is so incredible, right? It's so amazing. For me, at 22 gems, just having one of these in your collection, I mean, just displaying it, when we're able to display these, I mean, just think about that. It's going to be great. Everybody can get one of these too, because there's like 48,000 of them, 22 gems. The value, you know, could be higher, right? But it's not about the value. It's just about how they look. Look at the other editions in this series of Marvels as well. They're so good. They're so beautiful. The art is like such a high level. It's incredible, right? Okay, let's go on. This is one of my favorite cover arts, you know, for sure. This is the Immortal Hulk, Immortal Hulk #1. Okay, ultra rare. Sorry, just the rare edition. Ugh. Okay, and it's 2,350 editions, right? You can pick it up for $134.50. The value of this has gone up. I did a video about this one right here with Master Collector points. You know, because you get 2, right, every day. And it's a rare, you know, and at the time it was like 50 gems. Now it's 134. So prices have gone up. But like, look at the cover, right? I mean, this is the best. I mean, the Hulk, this is the best Hulk cover, in my opinion, that we have on the app. I mean, he's so menacing. Read the comic book. If you get it, read it. It's a really cool story as well. It's pretty gruesome. Like, the comic book is pretty gruesome itself on the inside. It's pretty violent, which is, you know, some people love that. Some people don't. I think it's pretty cool, right? But look at him, right? He's just so menacing. The art is just incredible, right? I'm sorry if I'm just gushing over these, but, you know, I love comic book art, okay? I mean, look, I have them displayed on the wall behind me, right? You know, some of my favorites, right? That's kind of what you do, right? This is one of my other really favorite covers that, you know, doesn't get a lot of attention, doesn't get spoke of a lot. Web Spider-Man 118, ultra rare cover. We got the clone of Spider-Man, right? So there's a whole storyline behind Spider-Man's clone and everything. And like, he's just bursting through the cover. 1,050 editions of this particular one for $350, right? You can pick that one up if you want an ultra rare, which is like, you know, right below secret rare. And that's a really good price. I mean, just look at the awesome cover art. He's bursting through. Really cool pose, you know. He's got the different alternative costume because it's the clone. It's a really neat story. If you haven't looked at it, you should look it up. You should look up like Clone of Spider-Man and all that, and you'll have a really good, you know, it's a really good storyline. And who knows, we might see that in the movies, right? So this comic could have future value as well, like big time future value. First appearance, right? Anytime there's a Spider-Man first appearance, I mean, like, you know, that's what you want to go for. But just gorgeous, right? Let's go now. We're going back in the old school time right here. I have to pay homage to some of the old school covers because these covers have like set the tone. There's 2 covers here that are like the most beautiful covers, almost widely regarded in the comic book collecting community. You know, like as you know, vintage comics that are like, you know, high extreme level. Avengers 57, first appearance of Vision, just one of the most beautiful comic book covers, like widely regarded. Of course, everybody has their opinion, right? But this is widely regarded as a gorgeous cover. 21,000 copies, 39 gems. Actually, the price of this has gone up. It used to be about 20 to 22, literally 4 or 5 days ago. Now it's 39. I think people are stacking it because it's a very famous comic in the real world. Let's look bigger, closer. closer look at the bigger cover. I mean, it's such a beautiful cover. The Vision, of course, you know, he's really prevalent in the Marvel universe right now. There's the white version now. I don't want to give spoiler alerts, but watch the series on Netflix with not Netflix but Disney Plus. You know, with the Scarlet Witch. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that and in the movies as well. But this comic is just so gorgeous. Look at the one tone, you know, the red tone cover. I mean, I'm not an art critic or anything like that, right? I'm just a comic book lover. But like, this comic is so gorgeous. I mean, like, it goes back. And now I have one more comic that I'm going to show that is, you know, widely considered probably one of the greatest covers, comic book covers of all time, for its impact, its art, you know, its history. Okay, aside from this one, let's go right here. We got the next one right here. Amazing Spider-Man 50. Okay, the first appearance of Kingpin. All right, this is 2,100 editions, 21,000 editions for 70 gems. Still very affordable. All the old Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man comics are all on the rise, specifically because of these new Spider-Mans that are coming out. But like, just look at the cover right here. It's absolutely incredible. You know, this is the storyline. They touched on it in the original Spider-Man trilogy movie where, like, you know, he gives up his powers, he walks away. Life's too hard. I mean, you got Parker walking away from Spider-Man right there. Just the contrast, you know, just the simplicity. Spider-Man no more. I mean, it's widely considered as one of the greatest comic book cover arts of all time. I mean, like, for sure. It's up there with, like, some of the greatest. You know, there's debates about it, and that's totally healthy. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the greatest cover art of all time, but some people would. You know, I just think it's just gorgeous. I mean, it's one to have in your collection for sure. I mean, just scrolling through your collection and seeing this cover and seeing any of these covers, it kind of just brings a bit of joy, right? Like I said, you can step away a little bit if you want from just chasing after the grails and chasing after the high level, you know, comic books with the high price tags and thinking, oh, I have to put all my gems in, you know, the next thing that's going to explode, right? You could totally do that. I know people are doing that. I do it too. You know, I go after the big stuff, but I also have a nice collection of the beautiful comics that I love, that I want to look at. I mean, that's what it's all about. So if you just get back here, this is a little bit out of order, but this is just a gallery of all the covers, right? Now look at these gorgeous covers you could have in your collection if you want. Remember, this is also a collection app, okay? This isn't just a money-making financial monetary system app where you're just trying to flip and trying to get as much gems as you can. You can look at it that way for sure, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But also, it is also a collection app, and for me, that's the way it is. That's what got me into it, was like seeing these comics and having these kind of comic books. You know, I don't own all of them in my collection, right? I missed out on a couple of them. I probably will at some point pick at least one copy of each one of these up just so I can have it, just so I can look at them, and then I'll read them as well, right? The stories inside, don't forget about reading these comics. You know, flip them open, you know, sit down, check it out. That's one of the things. It's not just collecting and stuff like that, you know, just selling and buying. You can actually read these, right? Just like people are doing with the, you know, with the collectibles, how they're putting them in the, you know, the augmented reality, and they're like, you know, putting them in the world and sharing pictures of them. With the comic books, you can actually read them, get into the stories. You know, it actually makes you more connected to the book, right? And so anyway, I hope you liked the video. That's about it. I just wanted to share with you some of the most beautiful cover art that I see on the app. Hopefully you see it too. Hopefully you like and appreciate the artists. I highly recommend, like I said, looking up the artists. You know, if you have a favorite comic book in the app, you think the cover's cool, just Google it, right? You'll find out who the cover artist is, then just Google the cover artist. You'll see the other work they've done. Who knows what's going to be coming to the app in the next few days, next few weeks and months. There's going to be even more beautiful covers. And like I said, that's one way of collecting, you know. If you don't have like tons of gems and you can't go after like the massive grails, you know, you can go after stuff you love and stuff that looks gorgeous, right? There's always going to be value in comic books like this that have beautiful covers. There's always going to be value. People are always going to want them, okay? They're always going to trade for them. They're going to, if you place this comic book, Spider-Man 50, in the marketplace right now, right at the floor price, it's going to sell. It always sells quick. I mean, That's one thing I love about the Spider-Man comics as well. But also like Wolverine, when they have a first appearance Wolverine collectible figure come into the app, this Wolverine comic's probably going to jump up in price too. I mean, like, you have to think about it in that way. If you still are looking at it from an investment point of view, if they come out with Vision as a figure in the app, which they most likely will, or the Hulk. Could you imagine if they came out with the Incredible Hulk as a collectible figure? I mean, the Hulk comics are going to go up, right? So these aren't just like necessarily just holds, where you just have or it's just for the cover and there's no value. These have lots of value already. I mean, Miles Morales up there, if he comes as a collectible figure to the app, I mean, it's going to explode, right? Like, he's going to be huge. And if you pick up that comic, I mean, it's his first appearance. So there's some really great, like, actual value in here. But at the same time, this video is really just about the beauty and the skill and the artistry of these covers and these artists. And I hope you appreciate it. Now, let me know in the comments, like I said, if you have any other comics that you think are gorgeous, just post it down, just write it down so we can all go check them out as well. I probably missed a few that you would love. That's totally fine. It's all subjective. You can follow me on the app as well. Just look up the Darkhawk comic, the rare version of it. I have it for 100,000 gems in the market. And if you go there, you'll see me as that listing. And then you can just follow me in the app. I will follow you back. I'm always following everybody else because I would love to see what people are doing. And you can follow me on Instagram as well, where I post. And if you like, you can totally subscribe to the channel. Let me know how my new microphone's working. I just got this like the other day just to help improve the sound a bit so it wasn't so echoey. So just let me know if it sounds okay or if not. And yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions. And I'll see you in the next video, and happy collecting.